Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to another street photography POV video. Today I'm coming at you from Paris, France. And this is the second street photography video I've made in France. I thought on this one I would do a little bit of commentary, just give you a little behind the scenes, and also include a little more scenery. So that's what we're getting into today. We're starting out in the 12e arrondissement, and this clip was actually taken really early in the morning, so it starts out kind of slow. I'm starting my shoot at this awesome little building thing. I'm not really sure what it is, and just a quick simple snap, kind of getting warmed up here. And yeah, it's morning time, so, you know, in Paris especially, not a lot is happening early in the mornings, so not too many people out, but it does get a little more lively the longer we walk around. And my favorite thing about Paris, and I especially discovered this on this trip, was that the lighting, especially in the morning, is just immaculate, absolutely beautiful. And I'm trying to really capture things that are really French to me, and so I noticed this cafe, which normally would have a lot of chairs outside. It doesn't yet, but I like the colors of it, and I see this couple, super French, exactly what I'm going for. Here I'm just taking a touristy little photo. I always love looking at churches and things when I'm in Paris, so. This is what I was talking about with those early morning cafe photos. I think it just perfectly captures this neighborhood. And another thing I always take pictures of in France is street signs. I just think it's really interesting. This one was an especially cool one. So actually, later in the day, this street will become super lively. All of these shops will open, and there's a lot of people who come to these shops during the day. Unfortunately, it's just not open yet. And also, for context, this was filmed at like 10 a.m., so it's not like it's that early. That's just Paris for you. So now we're on the main street, and the light here is beautiful, and slowly we're starting to see more people. I find this one corner, and I really love the architecture here. The way the pillar is positioned, you can tell how old these buildings are, and that's something I love to capture. So I just wait for the right subject. Another thing that is kind of quintessentially French to me are these mini supermarkets, and I don't know, I think they're really cool. And you don't often see them kind of stacking boxes, so I thought that was interesting. So I know there's no way I can get this guy's lighting right, but I do think it's such a cool moment, and I did my best, and it actually came out pretty cool. I like the colors. It was just really harsh backlighting. Nothing I could do about it. Thought this was an interesting juxtaposition. So I noticed this ladder, and I think it's kind of an interesting storefront, kind of unique, so I hang out and just waiting for the right subject, and I almost get things to line up here. I unfortunately didn't quite get the guy on the left or the guy behind who is the suitcase, but still a cool scene, and I think a pretty cool photo. See this little ray of light, and I actually think this one's really cool. I like the texture on the bottom and on the right side of the frame. Another cool texture light moment that I saw. I wish I had gotten her with her hand on her stomach, but I like the texture of the sweater and her hair in that photo. And now I'm kind of starting to head back. We actually really needed to get on the road, pop a quick selfie, and I really like this photo actually, despite it being a selfie. So now I'm at Place des Vosques. We were actually here a lot this weekend, and I even made a little Instagram reel about it, which I'm sure you've seen by now. But super cool place, cute little square on the left, but then all around it are these awesome arches, and they're really cool to play with in afternoon lighting when you get harsh sunlight. Right now is not the greatest time for it, but I snapped this quick shot and it's okay, but here's some more to show you what I'm talking about. These ones were some of my favorites from shooting in this little square. If you're ever doing street photography in Paris, especially on a sunny day, I highly recommend coming to Place des Vosques. Not just for the photos, but there's a lot of cool shops and restaurants around this area as well. And it's just beautiful. And here you can see every single person who wasn't in Paris earlier is now walking the opposite direction of me. Typical. Snap some cool shots though. I think this second one is my favorite. I suck at taking pictures of cars, but I always try. This one really didn't work. And now you can kind of see what I was talking about with these cafes. Great for street photography because you can just kind of get up close to people without having to linger around them. And it's really unfortunate I have to head back now because the lighting is perfect and people are really starting to hit the streets. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. See this lady coming up and know that the lighting's really cool. And I've been shooting a lot of photos like this while I was in Paris. A lot of, you know, dark shadows and kind of people just popping out in the pockets of light. And I think this one's okay. This photo kind of happened in an instant, and I couldn't be more happy with it. Really like this one. And I saw this lady holding her cigarette down, and I mean, this photo to me is just quintessentially French. I see this guy standing in this one strip of light, and I know this photo's gonna be cool, so I'm kind of running, hoping I get there in time, and I snap the shot, and it's okay. Not great. And so now we're back. This is, I think, the street my Airbnb is on, just kind of wandering down. I really like this street. It was really cute and out of the way, and yeah. I think with Paris, the key to having a good time there is to stay in the more residential areas. I think they're a lot cuter, kind of avoid the big touristy areas, and that's what we did this trip, and it really worked. And I see this random shattered mirror sitting across the street, so I think, what the heck, I'll go take a selfie in it. So I do. And it's got this cool artwork in the background, so you kind of get a lot of interesting layers and textures and colors, and I'm pretty happy with this for a selfie. So now I want to just take a look at some of my favorite photos from the day, and this first one is the photo across the street of this building, which has this crazy Les Mis vibe to it. And yeah, I just really like this photo. I like the lighting, I think the subject's interesting. Everything kind of came together in the perfect way for this shot. Next up is this photo of what I think are kids, kind of just a big group of them that walked in front. And I like this photo because you get the harsh shadows with these faces kind of standing out. You get a little bit of architecture setting the scene. You actually got a bird in the top of the photo. And then you got this gesture from the guy on the bottom left that's kind of interesting and unique, and I like this photo. Again, not a complete photo really, it's still missing some aspects, but I think it's pretty cool. Next up is this photo from outside of the cafe where you've got this young lady who is pushing a stroller, and then behind her you've got this old lady with her baguette on the table, and behind both of them you have kind of this lady sitting smoking her cigarette in these chairs in this one spot of light. And I like this photo because to me it kind of represents 3 different stages of life. It's kind of got a haunting element to it, and just the way this older lady's face is standing out from the shadow around it, I think just makes it such an interesting photograph. This was probably my favorite shot from the day. And then the last one I want to talk about is this one of the lady smoking a cigarette. I just think this ties together kind of a lot of what I was looking for with interesting light, a very French subject. You've got the leather jacket and the cigarette, kind of to me, tell me this is France, as well as these chairs on the street. That's going to be one of those cafes with street seating. And then just the additional little texture patterns from the chairs and the crosswalk kind of come together to add a little bit of an extra pattern into the photo, which I think is really interesting. I just think it kind of brings together everything I was looking for. And that's it for this day of shooting. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the ambiance, and stay tuned for a complete summary of this trip and also just more street photography content. Thank you, and you're a real one. Peace out.